Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Salt Ships and Scuttlebutt, a World of Warships podcast, hosted by yours truly, Captain Greene 123, live in the flesh, in the meat space, and
I'm right here, actually. Point the other way. There we go. Yes, there we go. I am the Sea Lord Mountbatten of the YouTubes, which we have a YouTube channel now. If you prefer watching it on the funny red app, you can head on over to Salt Ships and Scuttlebutt singular. I'll link it somewhere in the Spotify description, or I'll say something about it on the YouTube channel so you all can flock over here. So wherever you wish to consume your content, you may make a choice now. You have a choice.
yes. Hopefully, this YouTube thing takes off and I can, do what Logan Paul did and light a mattress on fire in a mansion in a few years. That'll be good.
Didn't he also do the funny forest thing, or is that Jake?
No, I think that was his. Yeah, no, actually, that was Logan. I think Jake. I don't think we'll be doing that.
No. Nor getting into WWE anytime soon.
Yeah, no. Here comes the big show. So how are we doing this week? What happened? What broke?
So the roof.
Yep.
It all has to be replaced.
How bad is it?
Everything. Beams, roof, everything above my head must be redone.
That's good.
Yeah. So
it's
nothing new broke, at least. That just got worse. So I don't know what else could break. Everything's been replaced at this point. So here's hoping. I don't know that the foundation's going to give out next. For all I know,
you're gonna come home one day. The house is gonna be at a slant. It's just oh yeah, there was a sinkhole. Oh, all of my shit is at the bottom of the hole.
Yeah, that's terrifying. We read about people that go through sinkholes and stuff, and then oh yeah, they're just in bed, and then the house just fell into a sinkhole.
Yeah, those are always horrible.
Do you wake up or?
It's those sinkholes, those pictures. It's always an ominous photo. You know that it's natural, but it looks very man-made. And it's just half of a house gone, and it's 3 people were sleeping in this, 3-bedroom house, and they all got dropped 40 feet and they died. And it's just that's horrible.
That's why I like Louisiana, because we're below the water table, so there's nothing underneath us. It's like bedrock. In Minecraft, it's just all water.
The water is beneath you if you're below the water table.
You're gonna fall into the sinkhole and drown, not get crushed to death or asphyxiated. Just drown.
Imagine drowning underwater or underground. That
sucks. It's a rough way to go.
Yeah. What a shame. Nothing really happened with me. I've been told by work that I'm going to be going on third shift soon. So,
yay, nay.
I honestly would rather do third shift because the problem with second shift is I now sleep in until 11. I work at 2, and then I'll stay up until 1 or 2 in the morning. But I feel 90% of my day is work because it's 2 hours before, 2 hours after. So it just kind of blows, and I don't really like it. My second shift coworker is awesome. I enjoy working with him, but it's just not, like I said, I feel I have 2 hours before work, and then 2 hours, and the rest of the time is just, oof.
Yeah.
And
I feel you.
The other thing that sucks is when you get off of second shift, there's nothing to do. And I have a roommate who works, in the morning, so I can't really go home and do anything because.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Just fucking. There's nothing for me to do. Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of really rough.
You're gonna go hang out at the Whataburger or whatever the 24-hour restaurants are up there.
No, there's none. There's none. They got rid of them. There's an IHOP, but it's in an area of the state that I do not like to go to. And there's the only other thing is there's a KFC and stuff up the street, but every time I've gone there, I've gotten my order wrong. and it's been simple every time. It's a combination KFC and Taco Bell, and I'll just be like, yeah, 4 tenders, fries, biscuit, please. And then, like, I'll get, like, 2 burritos and, like, a 9-piece meal, you know, like breasts, thighs, and bone in, and then the guy's like, yeah, $55. I'm like, yeah, bad news. I just wanted 4 tenders and some fries. And the kid's just kind of looking at me like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'm not coming here anymore.
Yeah, so we have like the KFC Taco Bell Wombo combo here too, but normally like it's on either side of the building, so getting your order messed up that bad is normally that's a tall order, to get your order
Yeah.
messed up like that. But like even with like the Taco Bell here, it's like I use the mobile app because I don't like talking to people except for people on the internet. Um, it's like so like I give you exactly what I want, my exact order. It's all on your screen. There's no mistranslating between me speaking to the crappy speaker and you giving me my overpriced, not Mexican food.
Yeah.
But yet they still somehow mess it up. And it's like, dang it! I wish there was more than 4 places to eat around here.
I understand it because it's 2 restaurants, but it's 1 kitchen. But
yeah, I can see like how that would mess it up.
Conversely, like I'll be like, oh, number 4, and then I'll just get some random food in a bag, and I'm like,
It wasn't even that complicated. It's just literally on the menu.
this is like predetermined.
Yeah.
This is I made a selection. I made it as easy as possible. Why is there an apple pie? I asked for chicken tenders. And the other thing is I always try and be nice whenever I'm in a drive-through like that. So even though I'm pissed off now, I'm like, no, I didn't order this, and then I pull off and then they fix it. But something I've noticed is people who go through the drive-through at night around midnight are typically not nice. I witnessed a physical altercation between 2 women, and that was very enlightening in the parking lot, because there was one woman who, I don't know if it was a dietary thing, but she just went through and she asked like the exact ingredients and everything, and then when she ran out of stuff to ask, she was like, oh, do you guys have like eggs in the mayo? And the lady behind the counter is trying to answer, but I can tell it's very much one of those situations where she's like, lady, I get paid like $13 an hour. Can we please not do this? And a lady behind me had this very similar frustration as to what I had. She just acted on it. So there was a nice little fight there on the drive-thru.
Dude, yeah, no. Drive-thrus are PvP zones.
It's great.
I was in a Wendy's drive-thru once. I know everyone's going like, we don't want to hear about this, and yes, you two are fat. We get it, but look, we're gonna roll with it. But I was in a Wendy's drive-thru once, and I'm like, I'm up at the second window, and my truck's here, and then this guy pulls up next to me, and as I'm like, exchanging my food, he just starts like cussing the lady at the window out and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, can't just give me my drink so I can leave, please. And she's like,
focus on me.
She's like holding my drink bag, talking to this guy, and I'm like, dude, just come on. If it wasn't $4, I'd leave, but like, I need this.
You're sitting there like a lion tamer, like, eyes on me, focus on me. Come on.
So,
no,
here?
there's Yeah. I had I always try and be nice whenever I go through drive-thrus, but it's midnight and I'm usually just done with anything. So like I'll just come through just blasting windows down, whatever music I'm currently listening to, and I'll just be like, here. I'll be like, oh, okay. So it's usually good. But that combination KFC Taco Bell is horrendous. And that's really it. That's open for food within like a reasonable driving distance.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go 5 miles out of my way to go to like a 99 restaurant. Yeah, like I don't care that much.
Yeah, man. Like I get it because I literally live in BFE, and if I wouldn't, if doxing wasn't a problem, I'd gladly share like all the details. But like when I say I live in BFE, like there's nothing around here. We literally have 3 fast food restaurants, and then that's it. And a Walmart to purchase sustenance from. So
We have a lot of stuff. It's just all of it closes at 10, and that's just kind of a mass thing. They also took away. We used to have a whole bunch of 24-hour Walmarts. They don't do that anymore, I guess.
We used to be a country, a proper country.
I know. We used to have 24-hour
morning. Man,
I was like, I want to do a drive. I need to get something that, I need to get some office, some of those rubber or plastic mats to go underneath my chair. I'm like, fuck it. It's after work. I've downed a Monster. I'm going to the Walmart in Plymouth. And then I look it up and they're like, yeah, we close at 11. I'm like, when did this happen?
I know. For around here, like, we used to have a lot. I mean, we did have a lot of, like, the restaurants around here, the 3 were 24-hour restaurants, but after COVID, I think they realized that, they can stay closed after 11, and, like, I guess it's profitable for them,
Yeah.
They were either not making enough money to justify staying open or losing money staying open that late, so now they all close at 11. Even our Walmart. I guess we should probably segue into What Are Warships now. That's 12 minutes in.
We're going to talk about B-dubs. All right. So it's a Buffalo Wild Wings right before they closed, and they gave me like 80 wings.
Oh, dude, we did that with you see, Buffalo's a ship and What Are Warships, therefore this is connected.
Yeah, there we go. Planes have wings, CV, there we go. Planes have wings, yeah, I just showed up. I was like, 20-piece, boneless chicken wings, teriyaki, please, because I just wanted something I could mac on.
Yeah.
And then the lady comes out, and the bag is massive, and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, yeah, we had a whole bunch of these wings prepped, so, like, here you go. They're all teriyaki. Have fun. I'm like...
We were evacuating for a hurricane. We stopped at a Krispy Kreme at like some stupid. I can't remember what time it was, but it's over time Krispy Kreme closes, which I think is like 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
What, isn't that just a donut place?
Yes, with donut and coffee. So, yeah. So I don't know why they open so late, but they are. You think they close at like noon or something, but no, they're open all day. But we stopped and we're like, yeah, we need a dozen donuts, half and half. We're in the RV. And we're about to drive for 8 hours straight, no stopping. And then they're like, all right, so here's your donuts. By the way, this is the leftovers from today, so enjoy. It was 6 dozen donuts.
Yeah, I love that so much. There's an app that last thing, and then we'll go to WoWs. Calm your horses. Calm your horses. We got to get past what is it? Hold on. This is tactical. What is it on YouTube? We have to get like 10 minutes in and then we can swear. How does that work?
Yeah, YouTube. So, because of a fellow I know called Nuke, within the first I think it's 5 minutes of a video that you can have 3 dams, 2 shits, and one combination of the F-bomb or the C word. And the not nice C word that you're thinking of is the other one. The one that, like, I think Scottish or Irish people like to say a lot of. If you've never seen any of my War Thunder videos where Nuke's featured in them, you'll know how I know this. He doesn't take getting one-shotted that well in War Thunder Ground.
I don't either.
I don't think anybody does. But
that's the one game that I think I've actually gotten a chat ban in. And I, like, the whole time I was like, yeah, I deserve it. I'm not going to say what I said, but...
Well, I think they turned the chat off now, so you just can't talk anymore. Except for, like,
no,
the quick
you definitely can.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Oh, no, yeah, you definitely can. I got called, like, 9 slurs today flying my SC-33.
Okay, so I guess I think they did that, like, probably a year or two into the Ukraine war. I think that's when they did that. So I guess they...
Well, yeah, because you had Slavs yelling at other Slavs. that's why.
Standard Balkan behavior.
Yeah, just... That's all it was, dude. It was Slavs killing Slavs. It's been happening for 2,000 years. So, I think I wanna do a little bit of restructuring. I think we start off with the comments that we got. We'll start there, then we'll go into topics. So, we have from Bewick Drumstick. Great podcast, fellas. Thank you.
Great comment.
Perfect, succinct to the point, not like us.
Yeah, if you're on YouTube, comments help. And subscriptions, too.
Like I said at the beginning, I want to be Jake Paul. I don't want to be working anymore. I want to light mattresses on fire in my backyard. That sounds fun. But yeah, the next one here, the reason why I kind of wanted to start, and I keep looking to the left, is because this one's a little long and it's multi-part and it's very interesting. So this was left by Garrett Ham. Hopefully they commented with that, so I wanted to give credit. I didn't want to be rude, but
with 2 M's.
Yes.
And with 2 M's.
I was trying to put a little bit of ambiguity on there in case this is like this guy's name. I feel bad.
His IP. No.
Oh my goodness. You can get 1 docs on YouTube. So this was not the episode with Paint, but this was the episode before that. But it just has a great episode, and I'm glad to see you guys focusing more on ships. Ooh. I don't think we're going to get that comment again.
Well, only 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's good for us. Never mind.
We're doing great.
But I love getting those comments because it's like, oh, you're right. You know, I'm horrible because Sealord's a great guy to talk to. Yeah, that's horrible. You know, you're right. Thank you for catching us on that. I thought, but just to continue on with the comment here, I thought the bit where you talked about priority target and how it needed to be phased out as a player skill was a great topic and learning opportunity. I would love to see more on topics like that for all of those, for those of us who are skilled in the game but are struggling to get to that next level. Maybe how to counter popular ships and CVs. What makes a good match call, a difference between captain skills, builds for PvE and competitive. I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up. Sealord, you can tap. Wait, you can. Oh, I didn't get sun under my arms. Oh, that's even worse. Oh my goodness. You can tap in whenever you want. I'm going to start from bottom and work our way up. PvE builds don't really translate to competitive.
No.
And hold on, I'm actually going to launch the game now and kind of go through builds because.
Yeah, well, you do that.
There's some things that do. There's some like basic skills that do translate. But it's it's like the no-brainer kind of skills.
Yeah, because like rune maintenance, adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
The health skill for anything that's not a battleship that can take it.
Yeah.
Last stand.
There's certain. Yeah, that last stand. That's. The amount of times I've heard, oh, I can't turn, they knocked out my steering gear. And I want you to know I get violent whenever I hear that. Because it's yes, it's something that's incredibly frustrating to build, to deal with. And yes, it's something that certain ships will not take last stand. But the vast majority of ships should. There's one ship that I do not take last stand on in my entire port, and I'm not even lying. And that is Khabarovsk, because we
are the same.
Yes.
Max
same.
DPM. Same.
Well, it's max DPM, but it's also the fact that just the way that I have Khabarovsk built with enhanced engine boost and propulsion and stuff like that, and steering gears if I'm not running Master Fire Control Director. Like, the amount of time that your steering gear is knocked out is like maybe 6 seconds. So, and just with how Khabarovsk plays as a ship, that is not going to impact all that much because it takes about 6 seconds for you to fucking feel any type of rudder impact in Khabarovsk. And there's a few other things. I mean, we can go over some of the steadfast, just hallmarks of competitive. If you're watching this, I'm very sorry. I have to move Discord around because WoW comes up on my main monitor, and that's where my camera is. So, if you see me looking over, if
you want to share the builds, you can go to like Ship Tool and then probably share your screen with Discord or share the window with Discord. And it should pop up.
So good.
Production quality.
Good. Hold on, let me hide some of these ships because there's certain ships I cannot have on stream.
By ships, he means those games you're thinking about.
No. I just need to make sure that.
As he closes out of what's the one that everyone plays?
I
Genshin,
don't have any.
Genshin
Okay,
Impact.
this is good. No, I don't play Genshin Impact.
That's what they all say.
I'm not a pervert. I got yelled at by somebody on the WoW's official Discord because I was just talking with somebody and I was like, yeah, if you need like a 13-year-old caricature of a girl in like World of War, because somebody was just absolutely fiending over one of those dog shit anime characters. I'm like, if you're that hungry for like a character designed after like 13-year-old, there's ways to get help. That's kind of like my perspective on that. Okay.
Like, you told me to download the game, I downloaded it, and then I'm like, oh, this is a lot of really like, oh, look at that, beautiful.
Oh my goodness. All right. So I accidentally streamed Tarkov, so production quality, I didn't do that because I have Tarkov open in the background. But yeah, so there's some things that he says is his WoW fucking crashes here. There we go. Okay, it was Tarkov closing. So there's some certain skills here that are just non-negotiable depending on what type of ship you are playing and what you are trying to accomplish with that ship. The first thing that you want to determine before you even start selecting ships is what you want to accomplish in a match. And just with how competitive WoW's is structured, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, there's this really good spot for Salem on this map. So if we take a Salem and we get this map, like, we can run it and this will be great. You could win 100% of the games on that map with that specific ship, but you will be throwing bricks on all of the rest of the maps. So something that I always stress as much as I can is you want to establish a vague plan. I'm not saying, you know, like, this ship will move 2.32 meters. Like, no, you don't need that. You just, what you want to accomplish, how you're going to accomplish it, in a manner that, you know, you can actually accomplish. You know, don't, Shima goes into the middle of the map and torps the enemy spawn and kills everybody. That's stupid. Don't plan around that. But, you want to establish what you want to accomplish and how you're going to accomplish it. And that's how you then decide ships and stuff like that. That goes for the vast majority of your cruisers and your destroyers. Unfortunately, when it comes to clan battles, the battleship pick is 99% of the time for these last few seasons, it's already been made for you. Like at the beginning of the season, it was what's the tier 10 with like a reward. It's not the line Italian. What is it?
Not the tier 10 Italian. That's not the Colombo.
Yeah, the research point one.
The Sicilia.
Yes, like Sicilia was a very big pick, and you know, stuff like that. There's a lot of ships that you are kind of locked into playing when it comes to battleship, especially when restrictions come out, because it's usually, you know, they'll leave a few ships because, you know, there's sometimes they don't want 457, sometimes when they ban Kremlin, stuff like that. And it usually, you know, there's usually a few in there that are technically able to be played, but are not conducive to like an effective team strategy. Like something that is continually available is Repub. But why would you play Repub? Why would you play Repub?
Because everything else is banned.
Well, yeah, I know, but there's usually, even with that, there's usually like better choices than Repub. So, you know, usually with battleships you're locked in, and cruisers, you know, you can usually be a little bit more flexible. Like with this last season, during the beginning, we had kind of a return of a smoke meta. where you had a lot of those Italian tier 10 destroyer things running around just DPMing the crap out of people. There's a lot of different stuffs that you can do with cruisers. The other side to that coin, though, is do you have the players that can pull that off? Something that I end up getting a lot of in DMs is people going like, how did you make the comp that Bong Z was running work? My clan ran it and we couldn't get it working. What? Warbacks! And it's... How do I say this without being rude? Not everybody plays at the same skill level. Not everybody is able to accomplish the same thing. Not everybody has the game sense, has the knowledge.
You should ask when forming a comp team is, yeah, you can look at what's popular, yeah, you can look at what everyone's been taking, but you need to ask the player that you're asking to play that ship, hey, are you good in XYZ? If not, what are you good and comfortable in? Because putting them in a ship that they are unfamiliar with, that they don't know how, the ins and out of, they don't know how to get out of a bad situation, they don't know how to use it to its maximum potential, will do you more damage than just putting them in what may be a non-meta ship, but one that they can get to work. That's
another
the priority over taking the meta ship.
You don't want to take somebody who's really good in, say, for instance, a Des Moines, but isn't really good in Nevsky, but play the Nevsky because, the strat that you saw Resin play has a Nevsky.
Yeah.
If you can build around that DM, and the DM is not being an active detriment in the way that you have been conducting games, like, you can keep the DM. Something I always try and stress is when you're looking to build a comp and you're looking to be, and you're looking to other teams, maybe, more accomplished teams, maybe teams that keep beating you, your Resins, your Bonks, whatever. I always say to look at those strats, what they're trying to do in the ships is a framework. It's more of a frame rather than a whole house. So whatever you choose to do to that frame is how your comp works. Because again, no offense, Bonk Z Alpha can probably pull stuff off that T-Soft can't.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
And that's one of the really, 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 really key parts to building effective strats.
Storm is different from Gale's different from the one below that. It's a different meta, different set of ships as you go up.
The only thing that I would say is kind of similar is mid to high Typhoon and Kane, and that's just because the amount of Hurricane clans on North America is just dead.
Yeah,
it's like 4, and 3 of them, or I think it's actually like 7, and 3 of them don't even deserve to be there. So you just have situations where
you play the same 3 teams all night long.
Yeah,
you even have that in Typhoon. It was
and
like
that's horrible.
It's like, these guys again from 20 minutes ago. Great, fun.
I'll have I've even like I'll DM resin people. I'll be like, hey man, 3rd time's a charm. Maybe you'll beat us, or maybe we'll beat you. Whatever's happening, however the night's going. But yeah, that's something else to really keep in the forefront of your mind. Another good question here is what makes a good match caller, and that is something that again I actually can heavily comment on. The end goal to a highly functioning competitive team is to have a team of callers. And that's not because you want 7 or 9 or, however many people are in clan battles that season, yapping about what should be done, what shouldn't be done. But the thing that separates a good caller from a dog shit caller or a mid-tier caller is the caller's ability to look at a situation, rapidly input data, rapidly, export how to accomplish whatever they need to accomplish and set that in motion. And that's what you want on all of your players. Because there's so many times, and I think I do a lot of help with, lower lower skill or like lower, level clans. And if you want help, like reach out. I'm more than happy to, shadow and kind of help. But the end goal is having a team of callers. And I've seen people where they will, oh, well, we're just going to take Binkus here. He's our caller, and we're just going to do replay reviews with Binkus. And then that's so dog shit to do, because you want to have as many people involved in observing games, watching replays, and learning, because it's at the end of the day, it's not Binkus controlling a team of automatons. It's WoW's players being directed vaguely by Binkus. That's the end goal. Because if you have players who essentially function like bots and they don't seize the initiative, they don't think, they don't talk, they don't do anything. I get input, command, I go. A lot of people think that is the ideal WoW's player. That is stupid, because even Binkus is not going to be able to see the whole map and see the game, your area, how you're seeing it. You need to be able to sit there and make those decisions yourself. But again, that's the end of the road. That's not the journey along that road. Maybe along that road, you need a little bit more segmented, a little bit more controlling from Binkus. But that's definitely the end goal, because every person who's actively thinking during a clan battles game takes stress off of Binkus, and then Binkus can play his ship. And that's just something I always really, really, really like to stress. Do you have anything to add on that? I kind of went on a little bit of a tirade.
Attitudes, major part of it too, not only from the caller, but from the other players, because Clan Battles is a place that seems to attract people with certain attitudes. And I mean, like, yes, you do most certainly need that competitive drive and that competitive edge, whatever you want to call it. But there's people that they don't like being told what to do. They think that if you're telling them to do something, they think you're basically saying, well, you're wrong, do this. But no, you just, they're the caller for a reason. You need to listen to them, and you need to be, again, trying to, I guess, not really see it from their point of view, but, consider that you're part of a team, you're part of a whole, you're not out there for yourself anymore. And yeah, definitely, I don't think the micromanaging shot calling style is the way to go, because there are many, many moments in a clan battles where, you might see something that they don't, because they're busy on the other side of the map. You might see an opportunity to, knock out one of their cruisers in one shot, especially if you're playing Battleship. And I've seen callers that get upset that, like, hey, you didn't do exactly what I told you to do. And the other guy was like, well, I mean, there was a Des Moines right there, and he was broadside, so yeah, I turned out to kill. Yeah, to murder their radar cruiser. And yeah, sure, because of dispersion, unfortunately, he didn't get the one tap out on the Des Moines. And the caller was quite upset with him because he diverted from the, he was one of those micromanaging callers. And it's like, well, but like that's the Battleship's thing, like, or anybody's thing. If you can take out a radar cruiser earlier on in the match, by all means, please do so. So yeah, no, I agree with pretty much most of what you said, but definitely you need everyone on the team to be on the same attitude length and the same vibe. I believe so. That makes a really good team when you got that going.
Yeah, that is a very good question, or a very good point as well. You need to have you need to have a team that is team oriented. Back when I was playing, even early in the Bong Z days, and then in the Blep days before that, and in the DRIS days before that, you'd have people who would be like, "It's not my fault. I got 190,000 damage."
Oh,
and it's like,
I did my job.
You ran off the map in a Nevsky and you farmed a Montana that pushed us in. You did nothing. Mm-hmm. And then you have people. The goal in competitive is a win. At the end of the day, clan battles. That's what you're playing for. That's what you need to be playing for. You should not be like, oh well, we'll play to out damage these people. No, how do you win? That is the goal. It doesn't matter if you have one hit point left and as long as they have none and you win, that's it. Now,
win.
Are there, areas to improve on? Yes, that's something that's awesome. But you are always playing for a win, and you need to remember that, and you need your clan players, I guess, to remember that as well. You cannot have people who have a large ego or, you know, are not, or who are, you know, not as good as they think they are. I mean, something I always tell people in Bonk Z is there's only room for one gigantic ego in this clan, and it's mine. So, you know, there's a lot of people that just don't learn that, or that tolerate that when they really shouldn't, and it's negatively impacting your clan. Because even if, you know, say this person is, you know, pretty good, I've had instances where people are like, yeah, this person's insufferable to be around, so I didn't show up.
Yeah.
And you have to make that decision. Is this person worth sacrificing these other people who are frustrated with him?
Yeah. We've had to do
is that a decision?
couple of times too. Yeah. More than a couple of times, I should say.
So, that's just kind of, you know, where... That's just kind of the decision that you have to make at the end of the day, because, like, again, I will always edge on, you know, this person. I will always prioritize the group over a single person. I think that prioritizing one person, unless they, you know, walk on water and shit gold bars, I don't really think that they are worth it more often than not. I've had people who are, you know, statistically very, very good come up to Z, and they're just like, oh, hey, you know, I want to come play. This is what I want to do. And I have to sit there and be like, yeah, bad news. You have so much baggage. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm not going to disrupt what's working and supplement it with what's not, with a variable, basically, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not going to take my car apart when it's running well. So that's just kind of, I have them occasionally. But yeah, that's really kind of it when it comes to a caller. How to counter popular ships in clan battles. Generally, it's focus fire.
It will die.
You also generally need to understand target recognition and target threat levels. So, for instance, the Montana that spotted the whole match at the back of the map, not doing anything, is, as long as he's not landing his shots and being annoying, he's not a very high target. You know, you need to look at a ship or look at a flank and be like, okay, I need to kill X ship, push off Y ship. That will, you know, leave Z ship vulnerable. Then I can take this cap, and that puts the enemy on the back foot. With the points that we've gained, we will then have control, and that's what you ultimately want. You want control. You want to be able to have enough of a point deficit that you can be like, yeah, you know, slam everybody at this cap. I don't care. I'm just going to run off the map, and I have 900 points and you have 2, so I'm going to win. There's other ways to win than killing everybody.
Yeah.
So, but that's really how you counter, you know, powerful ships. The other thing is, for instance, I remember this is old antiquated lore, but back when Somers first came out, Somers was very, very popular, and a lot of the Storming Gale clans that I was in at the time just would not counter it very well. And something that we did is we would just radar bait it. We would have Ashima go out there. His whole job was, you know, get spotted, not W key down a flank and then turn out, but, you know, make it appear as a misplay. And if, you know, the Somers was there, the Somers would open up. We would pull the Somers back. We'd bait the Somers into a radar, and then we beat the shit out of it. it would just be like the soap and bunk scene in Full Metal Jacket. Like, sometimes that's how you need to do things. And if you can't outmass somebody, you have to outthink them. So that's really how that's a good example on how to deal with empowered ships. If it's something like Napoli, wait for it to get banned. It will get banned. But
Napoli, Petro, Marceau,
yeah.
Kleber, they're getting banned. Just if they don't start the season off by banning them, they're getting banned.
Yeah. So that's just kind of something to keep in the back pocket. There is to realize what's a threat. How do I counter that threat? How much do I have to sacrifice in terms of a lineup to counter said threat? And that's really the beginning and the end of it. Realizing now, looking at the question, we didn't really go over captain skills. So let's do that now. What comp ship do you want to build?
PvE. What's something that you could play in PvE and comp? I guess you play anything in PvE.
Yeah, PvE doesn't really matter.
What's something that popular but doesn't get banned? Looking at Petra right here, that thing usually starts off the season banned.
Well, yeah, or it'll be one of one.
Yeah. I guess we could start with the Petra.
Okay, so we will put it's. Do I have a random 21 pointer on here? I do not. Oh, I do. I have. How much captain XP do I have? I do not have enough to move.
Can you find a premium ship, like maybe like a Mosfa, and throw it on
Let's
instead?
just do this. I don't care.
Okay, or do that.
I don't care. So we'll do this. So 20 points. It's not 21 points. Shoot me. I'm poor. This is my Spellens captain anyways. So a lot of people are like, yeah, let's go with the recommended and the consumable specialist. Some of these recommended are really good. I almost always take Grease the Gears. There's a few instances where I don't, and Petro's kind of one of them because 38 isn't horrible, but it's bigger than 30, so I don't like it, So, and it's 1 point, so I'll take that, and that chops the leg out of it and gets it right above 30, so that's good. And then, you have a few other decisions here. Priority target, like I said, is kind of a skill that you should outgrow as a player. In competitive, it's a lot more useful. I really don't like priority target and randoms in any way, shape, or form. You should always just assume that you're getting shot at. That's kind of how it is. But in competitive, it's very, very powerful.
Yes.
And that mainly boils down to the fact that at the end of the day, if you can go to your caller and be definitively like, I have 3 targeting me right now, that means, 3 ships are over there. If there's only 3 spotted over there, and then it goes up to 4, you're like, hey, wait a minute. That's good. And now, there's something that a lot of people don't understand fully, because this skill is worded like dog shit. This detection indicator additionally shows the number of opponents on the enemy team that are currently aiming at your ship with their main battery guns. A lot of people are under the assumption that means quite literally like crosshairs on target. No, it means locked on. So if somebody's, locking on to you to see what you're doing in case of torps, bam, PT. So it's very, very good. I highly recommend PT. Tier 3 has a lot of mandatory skills that I would say. AR and Superintendent, you always want. More of thing, good. Shoot more bullets, good.
Dude, there are people that type paragraphs in my comment section arguing against taking Adrenaline Rush. I'm like, gun go fast. What?
Yeah, I don't understand it. Tier 4 here is, again, you kind of get a little bit into the woods. Concealment is always good because, again, 14-7, 13-2. 14-7, 13-2.
Well, number.
Yeah, radar. Your radar is what, 13?
12.
12. So
unless the mod does something wild to it, but I think it's just runtime, right?
I don't remember off the top of my head. We're really prepared.
Russian, therefore 12.
Let's do
You know how many
this.
top 5 videos the Petrol's been in? Oh yeah, I think it's 12.
Yeah, so you're right. It's
Yes.
12. So it's 12, and then the fuck does radar mod go? Oh, yeah,
It's
there it
just
is.
the
So
runtime, right?
that's just
20%. Yeah.
duration. So, yeah, 12. So, again, you're closer to stealth radaring things, which, again, means, hey, I'm spotted. There's a pretty good margin that I will press my radar button and it will be spotted.
1.2 kilometers in the game scale is nothing, too, by the way. Like
It's really not.
That's 2 seconds of
It's
sailing.
especially if you're getting pushed or you're pushing
Yeah,
into something. Now, if it's a situation where like you're running down a destroyer, yeah, that really stretches out. But like if I'm making a really aggressive, if I'm pathing aggressively towards a cruiser, that 1.2 kilometers is gone. But again, getting that number down is still good.
it also disengage a hell of a lot easier, too.
Yes. There are a few different schools of thoughts here. There's a few people who really like top grade gunner. So this is good because it's again more time off your reload if something's within your standard detect range. And another thing that people don't really take into consideration is changes to ship's detectability caused by fires, main guns, and anything else that increases or decreases your spotting. Does not matter. If there's somebody within 13.2 kilometers, top grade gunner procs. And again, people are like, oh, it's 8%. Who the hell cares? It's 8% off of 14. So you're looking at almost a second off, roughly. So that's 13 now. Which again, it's not a DM, but it's 13 on petro guns.
And it stacks with Adrenaline Rush, too.
Yes. So all of that stacks. The prerogative or the parameter to initiate the buff does not, but that stacks 100%. There's also a lot of people who select outnumbered. I think that outnumbered is a very, very, very defensive skill, and it's kind of something that you want to take if you either expect to be alone on a flank or if you expect to just get your fucking shit ran and have somebody just unga bunga at you. Both of which you could build a comp around, so it's definitely something to kind of keep in the back pocket. It basically improves the ship's characteristics while the number of allies within your ship's main battery firing range doesn't exceed the number of visible enemy ships. So if you have a whole bunch of people spotted, you have outnumbered proc. And it's more than however many people are in your, what is it, 21 kilometer range? So it's pretty nice. So, there's definitely a decision to be made there. Radio location is good. Depending on if you're in a destroyer or if you're in a cruiser that may take adventurous pathing or is not a sit and kind of slug 'em cruiser, because it's still good to be able to, RDF basically, and it can look close to you. Even though the way, radio direction finding, you need 2 sources and a boat is only 1, but that's okay.
We don't tell wargaming these things.
Triangulation isn't real. Granted, I think that it would also be ass if you had to take 2 people. If you had to have 2 people to make that skill work. I think that would be dog shit. But
pretty funny though.
Oh, it would be. There's a few other fringe skills like defense and ASW expert. If you're running any of the Dutch ships with an airstrike, you take this because it takes it's reload and everything's down basically, so that's also good.
That does affect the Dutch airstrikes.
It affects the strikes from Dutch cruisers.
Okay.
And I believe there's another one down here.
That one. Go back to it. The focus fire training, airstrike armament reload time 15%. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few little things like that you can select. IFHE I don't really feel like is as important.
Not on Petro.
As a skill, yeah, on a lot of cruisers, because even if you have something like a DM, you have good enough HE pen, and even if you're fighting something like a Petro, you're gunning for fires, so it's not, you're not damaging, you're not really damaging this superstructure on this board here. You're just looking to start fires and make him commit suicide. Like that's all you're gunning for. Because the other thing is it's really good to tax consumables, put them on cooldown, know how to recognize when they're on cooldown, because people play completely differently. If their radar's down, you'll see a Moskva kind of back up, stuff like that. They'll be hanging out a little bit more if they have it, or same thing with a Petra, just because their brain goes, me no have radar, me no risk, me no get shots, me back up, and that's something that you can recognize and kind of build on. Petro in terms of mods, main armament mod 1. If you're running Ox on a cruiser, please seek mental health. The only thing that I can think about that maybe you wouldn't is like turbo in Napoli, because those 90 millimeter mounts die.
Yeah.
But other than that, like
Schroeder, that one season Schroeder suddenly became extremely relevant.
Yeah, that's another one, because I think Schroeder has a lot of those 105s.
A ton over the 105s.
So they just get knocked the fuck out. Yeah. Radar mod.
Anything that has radar in clan battles, you should get that.
It's really non-negotiable. There's a lot of costs. What does it even cost? RB
50k coal. It's coal.
If you don't have 50k coal, that's kind of rough.
Maybe 90k if I'm thinking wrong. It's 5-digit coal. It's not 6-digit coal.
Same thing with hydro. If what you're running has a usable hydro, be that a destroyer or
anything
maybe
German.
A cruiser, that you can get don't say that, because people will put it on Hindenburg. Don't say that.
Well, but who takes Hindenburg in the clan battles? Really?
You would be surprised.
Fascinating.
But yeah, so that's another kind of thing that you want to keep in mind. It's what am I, what do I have? What's my ship strength? If it's something like a Salem, don't even bother. Something that doesn't have a hydro worth boosting, that's fine. You can go take your
hydros,
you can go take your damn con or engine if you're running a light cruiser. This is non-negotiable, pretty much. Aiming systems. If you're not running aiming systems, I fear for you. Again, there's a case to be made. Secondary battery mod if you're running something like in Inting Napoli, where you can get the funny secondary range. But don't run AA guns mod 1. That goes without saying. But I have had people argue with me about that, not in bonks, because I would physically kill them. But
in clan battles
actually,
too. What are you doing?
we're on YouTube, so actually I probably shouldn't say that. But
we're an hour in. The bots stopped watching by now.
Hey man, like I said, I want to get monetized. But I've seen people on like the official Discord, and they're like, "Yeah, well, I want to use it to shoot down spotter planes and stuff." It's like, yeah, you are sacrificing
your main damage output
for the ability to kind of shoot at a Kingfisher. You need to refocus there. And then there's main battery mod 2, which I guess, but again, aiming systems is right there.
I'd rather make the shells go where they're supposed to go rather than the turrets turn slightly faster.
Yeah. Again, if you're Dutch, you go airstrike. Steering gears there's definitely a case to be made for steering gears, but I think that's more of a kind of flanking, kind of sitting out like a San Martin type cruiser that you'd want to put steering gears on.
Flank cruiser,
Yeah. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to want propulsion because of that magical minus 50% to go forwards and backwards, because that is incredibly powerful. And I guess DamCon too, again, if you're terrified of fires, but 50%, why would I not take this? Conceal, because it's, conceal. And then for this one, this is kind of a little open. I go with range. There's people who go with reload. Reload, I believe it's down to
12 something.
18.5. So that's not horrible.
The range, yeah.
Yeah. And then bold and controversial take, but I think that all of the second round upgrade, like legendary upgrades, are kind of bad. And I think that this one is very much one of them. The minus dispersion is good. The minus to AP damage, or the plus to AP damage, is good. But at the exact opposite end of the spectrum, you are down with consumable, expert to 3 charges of everything, which kind of blows in terms of health.
Yeah, back when Petro couldn't get citadeled, I could see it, but like now that it can get citadeled.
Well, I mean, the other thing is the whole
radar Petro's too. Yeah,
it's designed to be like.
Yeah, this whole thing is it sits on an island and doesn't die.
It's a doorstop. That's what this is. And if you are a doorstop that is now easier to get farmed out, you're not really a doorstop. So that's kind of why I don't. I
normally take range on my cruisers too, just because you never know when you need to reach out there and finish that guy off.
Yeah,
and
I'm a big.
That's
big. Yeah, so that's kind of a little bit of a walkthrough. Signals. You're going to want to mount everything that boosts your healing, everything that boosts your damage, and everything that takes down floods. And then again, if you are playing a ship like Petro, where it's very back to the wall Sparta, like you can take a ram flag, but your flag shouldn't really change. And that's kind of really it in terms of the equipment. I really don't. I really want to get somebody on who's a little bit more. Fuck! I have to redo this now because this was my
Smallens boy.
Fucking yeah, it was my Smallens captain. Oh well. Yeah, that's kind of. I'm gonna try and get a more competitively oriented person on. And just kind of walk through all that, because again, I have a knowledge base to pull from, but it is a drop in the ocean compared to some of the other people that I have access to. But yeah, I would say that's kind of a really good layout there, in terms of what you want in a caller, skills, stuff like that, why you would take what you would take. If you guys would really, really want, and again, feel free to leave a comment or do whatever. We can have a full sit down and just go through builds. And the other thing is, now that we have a YouTube channel, I can offload even more work on a Sea Lord Mountbatten, and we could upload like small guides and stuff. Kind of little shorter segments of stuff, which I really am excited to kind of do. So, enjoy storing more footage. I might have to get you a storage drive.
Got 3 already. 7 terabytes, not enough.
Yeah, you're gonna get more. I'm gonna send it to you in 8K.
8K.
Immediately brick your Louisiana internet.
Dude, I don't know what's been going on recently, but like the last 2 streams where I tried to boot up World of Warships, it wants to run an 8K for some reason, which I don't know what human is playing World of Warships in 8K, but go ahead, King. If you have a PC that can do that.
I don't know. But yeah, So that's kind of a 411 here. The other thing that we can do now that we are official and we are, doing voice cams and stuff like this now. Wait a minute. Walk with me. Ready?
Sitting down, but are you gonna do the thing? Yeah,
Bam!
look at that.
Bam! Now I can't just yell into the void and be like,
according to the devlog.
Now I can go through the devblog.
See if you can zoom in a little bit. Like use like your, what are you on? Chrome Safari. There we go.
No, I use Brave. I don't use Chrome.
Okay.
As you can tell, I am just going to be alabaster white, Casper the Ghost, with this window
blue
open.
Last week, so
yeah. So we have some changes to test ships to start us off here. What's our time?
We are at 1 hour and 2 minutes.
All right, so we can actually move kind of quick through this because there's one of these is pretty interesting. These are just basic kind of changes to the test ships. So Willem de Ernest is getting some airstrike changes. The only thing I'm really kind of seeing here is it's like just getting a straight buff.
Yeah.
We have damage going from 6.8 to 8.5 on the bombs, which is nice. This is massive here. The pen going to 46.
Yeah, huge.
That is a lot of decks that you will be able to.
Lots of sad battleship mains reading that.
Yeah, exactly.
Your name isn't Kremlin or I think the Yami.
Yeah, you're just kind of boned.
Mm-hmm.
I think even your GK is fucked.
Oh.
Or does it have a 50 mil? Does GK still have a 50 mil plate somewhere?
Let me. You know who'll know that?
I think the midsection is 50 on GK. That or I'm smoking. I don't. There's so many different plates.
The problem with GK is that you got so much real estate on the bow and the stern, they don't need to hit the deck. And that's
100%. See here. Yeah, midsection is 50, and then actually, dude, right up until about where the propellers are in the stern is 50, and right up to basically halfway up the anchor chains is 50 as well. So it's actually just like the tips of the bow and stern. There's 32.
I need to commit seppuku now because I should have known that. Well, see, the problem is the city that you have built on the deck is going to get pinned no matter what.
100%. I didn't, nothing about that, but I'm just talking about like actual deck.
The deck, yeah.
There's a difference between getting chunked in your superstructure and just getting like actually deck penned.
Yeah, just getting bullied through the
deck pens blow, and you will just eat damage. Sometimes it's better to have a larger citadel because the citadel, or not a larger citadel, a larger superstructure, because the superstructure will just eat the bomblets.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
No. So, and the bomb fall time went up from 5 to 8 seconds. So that's, again, a little long, but if you're just dumping this on, like, something stationary on a rock, there's still no bad
what's the
time.
range of this? Isn't this like 14 or something?
I don't know off the top of my head. That's what it looks like, default. That's good to know. AP 650 damage increase on the AP.
Yeah, the fuse time. Yeah.
This is really actually massive. And then the shell pen went up 5%, so somebody adjusted the crup. But this is massive.
From the short fuse to the standard.
Shortened fuse to standard fuse.
Yeah.
So that means you'll actually be able to punch through decks and bows and belts and all that stuff. You don't have to aim. Yeah, you don't have to aim for fore and after superstructure, which is good in some aspects, but it's also like.
Yeah, you'll bite stuff more, but you're gonna get overpins.
Yeah. That's a really good way to kind of put it.
Yeah.
Nanning, torpedo armor parameters changed. So deep waters were replaced with standards. That's kind of That's expected. Deep waters are temperamental. No, they're not temperamental. They're situational.
Yeah.
That's a very good way of putting it. Yeah, you should be a teacher or something.
That's kind of like I am.
Reload time went up 10 seconds. It's already so freaking long. Who cares? It's already 2.5 minutes, so it went up to 2 minutes 20 seconds, 2 minutes 30 seconds. Who the hell cares? Torpedo speed reduced. Holy fucking.
Dude, that's rough.
So this is a kick in the nuts in terms of torpedo speed, going down to 45 knots.
The current is going to push them backwards.
Yeah, that's going down to like Sims levels of bullshittery. I mean, that's really bad. That's rough. How fast are Sims torps? Hold on, let me.
I think the blacks are 45.
Sims torps do fucking 65. And this is going down to 45.
I think the blacks are 45. That's just let me slow.
See. Let me see. This is
my God. Good luck predicting that.
Yeah, the black is 43.
Okay, so you're 2 knots faster than the black.
Yeah. Good news is your damage literally goes up basically 12k. So these things
you get them to 30k, huh? With the
are insane
skills. Yeah.
Yeah. You will get it up to 30k before like torpedo belts or anything.
So you can 2-shot like tier 9 battleship, 3-shot tier 9 battleships with those. Depending upon
I'd say 3 or 4 depending on the torp belt.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about this blowing destroyers in half, and this is going to be a really good destroyer for like just soaking a cap. I don't remember precisely how many racks this thing gets.
It's default.
Yeah, it's default.
Is it not the Soviet destroyer? No one but Nushishimi, but extra Chinese now.
I don't know. I think it's more of a Shima modernization. I don't know.
That's what it is. Yeah, it's a Shima. I think it's a Shima.
Oh, so this thing has 3 racks of.
Let me pull up a picture of it that's not default.
Right. Yeah. And the torpedo range went up from 10 to 12. Who the hell cares? 10 to 12 is still rough at tier 9.
Yeah, it's a Shima.
Yeah, so you get 3 quintuple racks of world-killing weapons that do not go quickly. And granted, you'll be able to get the speed up too, but like you're starting so far behind, it's just.
It's 2x5.
Oh, okay. I was going to be really concerned if it was.
It's Shima Sansa torpedo launcher.
Shima with 2 tubes, I guess. Maybe it's. I don't know. That's weird. Bliska 44 torpedo tubes went down from 90 to 80.
Woo.
Yippee! Anyways, moving on. A lot of changes here to Protector. So we're going to start off with a turret traverse buff, 30 to 24. That's good. That is very good. The secondaries were changed as well. The reload went down basically from 4 to 2.5.
Yeah.
So that's really good in terms of a change. And their SAP secondaries. Oh,
not
but they have been replaced with HE secondaries.
The standard
HP,
American secondaries, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be a whole bunch of those 5-inch 38s, which I don't think is going to be horrible, but they have a really good reload and 5% fire rate. Like, you're going to be setting fires.
Wait, Georgia, you know what to expect.
You lost a lot of hit points, 68 to 51. Rough. But you have the heavy repair teams. Restoration of hit points after receiving damage to parts of the hull increased from 35 to 60. So basically, it's just better. It will heal more. It will heal back more saturation damage. Went from 3 to 2 charges, and the cooldown doubled. And 30 points off of the hit points restored. So it's still a beefy heal that's going to heal more. But yeah. I think another thing that we need to do is do a special or like an episode or something on saturation, because it's another mechanic that
Yeah,
I think is
it's not
really good for
explained.
people to
Yeah,
understand. And I do you have a video out? You probably already have a video on saturation.
it's somewhere in there going over the. I
Yeah,
have a bunch of videos going over the basics. But it might be from like 4 years ago. Who knows? I have to
yeah.
go dig it up.
I think maybe we either dedicate a podcast or do a video on that, because saturation is awesome to learn about and it's really important to learn about as
Yeah,
well. Otaka is getting gutted in the HP department, 94-71. But it is another heavy repairs. Oh, all of these are getting basically the same heavy repair team
yeah.
change.
These are the
Okay.
experimental secondary ships.
Okay. So yeah, they're all just getting the same.
Changes to the heel. Loses one.
Yeah.
More cooldown.
Hold on, let's see. Oh, that one is a model.
It's a
Oh my
Michelangelo.
goodness, they
That's
have
an
model.
Autotara. That's a Congress.
So that's again, the Varsae is once again 30-24. That's really good because it's a center line or center turret, so you're going to be turning them a lot to get them on the target stuff. Hit points got gutted, and the heavy repair team
It is
changed.
hilarious that this was a cruiser with more HP than Kremlin for a minute, though.
Oh, 100%. But stuff like that, I mean, it's never going to stay.
No.
Worcester fixed an issue with the firing angles of the first and sixth turrets were unintentionally reduced with the addition of 360-degree turrets.
I wonder if that's counting from the front or not.
Regardless, I would assume so. I bet you somebody tweaked some, the fire angles and the turret rotation and everything, and just
But you
forgot
don't
to change
remember
it.
from like our second podcast together when they were
Yeah,
going over all
no,
the American light cruisers? First and fifth turrets counting from the front.
yeah, counting from the front. Yeah. I don't, like I said, I think that this was somebody moving the model and then not
Yeah.
adjusting the parameters perfectly here. And then the Valprizio fixed an issue causing the decay rate of combat instructions to be lower than the expected 5% per second.
Oh no. Ruined.
Ruined. Anyways, those are how do we feel about these? I think this is going to make William Dafoe very interesting. I think that's going to be very interesting.
He's gone from mask off William Dafoe to Green Goblin mask William Dafoe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nanning, I think, is going to be really fun, but I also think that it is going to be.
The thing is, you're not going to hit anything, but when you do, you're going to die laughing because you're going to murder.
Yeah,
it.
you're gonna get like the best high in the world. your brain's just gonna dump all of the dopamine.
It's like the War Thunder target kill dopamine times 1,000.
Yeah, yeah. And then these kind of changes here are they're just adjusting how they want these ships to interact with the player base. So I don't really. I think they're going to be interesting. Yeah. Now, new ships.
Now the cool stuff, kids.
Yeah, here we go. This is where the money's made. So, I have wanted this ship for so gosh darn long. We finally have it. Royal Sovereign. It's at tier 7. The Royal Sovereign was a R-class ship.
This is I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, but this is a completely new model too, correct?
Yes.
Yes. There we go. Art department's back, boys.
This is the R class in real life was the Admiralty was like, we really like the Queen Elizabeth class battleships, but holy crap, they cost so much. How can we make them cheaper? So this is just a wish.com QE. Royal Sovereign is great. Say
it's better than one Royal Sovereign.
Two
Royal Sovereign.
Now you're probably wondering, wait a minute, that's a Russian flag there. What happened? The Royal Sovereign was basically the British gave the Russians a battleship, and then the Russians didn't maintain it, and then it flipped over. That is the Royal Sovereign. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I got that mixed up. That was the Julio.
Yeah.
That was the Julio. This one was returned, and then the Royal Navy was like, the maintenance was so horribly done, we can't use this, and then it was scrapped.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I was about to say, I don't remember it flipped over. Now, it was like an abomination. So this is the one where they didn't rotate the turrets, and turns out when you don't do that, and then you don't maintain them, you can't rotate them, because they get frozen in place.
Who thought Igor Vladinsky would have to grease this 900-ton turret? Oh, wait, it won't turn. Oh, who knew? Now, these are kind of going in like the Nueve de Julio and then the, what is it, the Boise?
Not quite like that, because they're quite different, actually, between the two of them.
Well, I was just saying
they're like counterparts. Yes.
Yeah. So it's two flavors of the same ship, but
yes.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. As Sea Lord alluded to, they are completely different in terms of playstyles, at least from wargaming. So at least wargaming's eyes. Secondaries have a high rate of fire compared to the ship's peers. That's great. You have those 6-inch guns shooting every 9 seconds instead of every 30 seconds like they do in Rome. Main battery guns are armed with improved HE, and I guess they have a higher damage and fire chance, or it's just the improved HE. She has hydroacoustic search, submarine surveillance, and enhanced repair party. This thing is going to fuck. And I am all there for it.
I'm so excited.
Let's see here. Okay, that's bad. 26 millimeter fore and aft plating, 50,000 hit points. Where is the reload? Where's the reload?
It's
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of quick turrets. Good Sigma. 2 submarine strikes. Ooh, 6-kilometer range on those 52s. 4.2 second reload time. And then you have a whole bunch. You have 4 102s. So never mind. Not a whole bunch. Wave off.
4 times 2. 108. I'm not a math teacher, but I can. 108. What the heck? 8. I'm really not a math teacher.
Oh, yeah, 3-kilometer reload. So that's actually pretty freaking good.
3 second reload.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
3-kilometer reload.
I'm not an English teacher.
We're batting 100 tonight.
Yeah, it's late. 3-second reload, good. The fires are good. The pens are kind of bad, but it's also tier 7, so they're not the worst. They'll work. A defense is
pending. The rework is a thing still.
So I'm gonna go out and say it's got 2 octuple pom-poms and then probably 2 quad Bofor mounts. So the only reason why I bring that up is because those both do different damages and stuff, so they're pretty different a little bit. And then you have a whole bunch of 20s in the 102s. Short range is where you're really going to make your butter in that 2-kilometer window, and then 2.5, I guess, is the medium range with 126. That's kind of rough. Turning circle 600, rudder shift 13.5.
Actually, not bad.
No, it's not. DTEC's really good too.
You are waddling though at 22 knots.
Yeah, 22's 22
with the flag. 24 with the flag.
Roughly, you're not going to get up past 25, even if you put a brisk or whatever they call it these days.
Brisk.
This is good. DCP is 120 or 80 seconds, so a minute 20. Repair party base charge is 4. So it's a good heal. It's not like a mega heal, but it's a good heal. Hydro is 3 minutes, 3 charges. Yeah. So that's pretty good. Submarine surveillance, because Hydro didn't work anymore, I guess. Spotting range at max depth, 6 kilometers. Okay, so you're spotting subs and stuff, which I think is good. I don't want
a ton of subs at tier 6.
Yeah, I don't want subs near me in any tier. Yeah, so that's good. Arhangelsk, really nice camo. I don't care that I mispronounced it. Beautiful camo on them both, I should say, but this just goes infinitely harder than I think the Royal Sovereign.
Only the ship didn't decay.
Yeah, if only it didn't rot.
It did not look this good in real life.
Combines good AP with better than average rate of fire and accuracy. She pays the low speed, lower than average HP and weak balance stern plating compared to other tier 7.
They Slavad it. For those wondering, DLDR, it's a Slava.
Oh,
that's 16.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
I can sneeze on that and penetrate that.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's also pretty bad, but like, I'd rather have this and this. And again, there's going to be people like, oh, they're both 48-7. Like, what are you talking about? Like, okay, there's a Royal Sovereign's 48-7 with a bunch of extra health in those, heals and 26 millimeter plating. So it's more survivable and it has more hit points that it can gain back. This is less survivable and has a worse heal. Oh, yeah, they slobbered it. Let's see what else we have here. 20-kilometer gun range is good. Reload time, 27 seconds. Blistering. Let's see what the Sigma is. 1.9. That's actually not bad.
I wish to point out a historical funny here. Look at the turret rotation time, and then go look at the Royal Sovereign's turret rotation time.
Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Somebody didn't do maintenance. I'm not going to name names. Sigma's good. The dispersion's pretty good. And then, yeah, other than that, you just seem to have the same kind of QE dog shit 152 millimeter secondaries where they're, just such a long reload on 6-inch guns. But they're casemate guns, so what do you expect? And then you have the 102 still punching at 3, so that's good. You have better close range? Oh no, I'm just smoking crack.
I say it looks like the AA is pretty much the same.
It's the same. It's the same. I think. Yeah, it's the same. So, and then you just have DamCon repair party.
That's it.
All right. So, anyways, moving on. Barf flower.
Better than some of my tits. I think it's Balfour. Bart flower. British way. It's either the ship's name either starts with an N or it's something entirely impronounceable.
Here we go. The only member of the battle class to see service during World War II. She was present at Tokyo Bay for the surrender of the Japanese. That was actually pretty cool. And then scrapped in 1966. So okay, it's the same kind of thing with the Fletchers in the U.S. Navy, where the Admiralty just hit the panic button and is like, yeah, we want these. Except unlike the U.S., they had a little bit more of a run up to make them. But again, when you are surrounded and kind of getting jumped, I will forgive your inability to make ships. But yeah. Is the first torpedo-focused British destroyer, and just like that, you've lost me. Carries her historical forward-only gun armament, meaning her gun power is limited to. She retains the ability to single-launch torpedoes, but her torpedoes reload sequentially, one after another, with their fast reload in general. This means that the ship the Barf flower will almost always have torpedoes ready, but will take quite a while to reload all 10 tubes. And then the torpedoes are completely and utterly average to offset the ability to kind of vomit torpedoes sometimes, maybe. She also has a repair party engine boost and smoke screen. I really want to look at this because I don't remember the Royal Navy smoke being, and losing hydro is kind of rough. But repair party is good, but okay. You know? Yeah, 5-second reload time on those front guns blows, and they're the British 113, so they just do no damage to begin with. But again, the ship is about the torpedoes. It's not about the guns. Maximum damage 16.
16K
all right,
and 10 kilometers.
16K. Yeah, you can get it up. Reload time 65 seconds. So launcher, it's
I believe it works like the Kitakami, so like the launcher in front reloads, the one behind it reloads. After that,
yeah, but it's 65 seconds. So it's 65 seconds per torpedo per tube.
Per torpedo?
Yeah, it's not the whole rack.
It's not.
They reload They reload sequentially.
Okay, I heard ruminations that Wargaming clarified it's each set.
So each set will fully reload after 65 seconds?
Yeah, like the first set reloads in 65 seconds. After that one's done reloading, the second set starts reloading. So like how Kitakami, like you got one loader for 5 torps for 5 racks on one side. Now I did not verify that. That was told to me in the comment section of the DevBlog video that I did for this.
I don't like this. I don't like this.
Because if it was 65 seconds per torpedo, then that's like a 10-minute reload for 10 very average torps.
Below average torpedoes.
Yeah.
17K at 10 kilometers and 62 knots, that blows.
So
I mean, they're kind of quick, but like...
Now, if this was like, 5 seconds per torpedo, I could understand that. But...
I don't think it's... I hope it's not 65 seconds to reload an individual torpedo, because that... Again, you have ships at the tier that are taking, 85, even 100 seconds to completely reload their rack.
Yeah, so that's why I like to believe that's, per launcher, not per tube.
I hope so.
Me too.
Anyways, damage control, completely normal damage control. Repair party, you can get 1,800 hit points back twice every 80 seconds. Whoopee. Smoke gen, 30 seconds. Dispersal times 70 seconds. Smoke's rough. Reload time of 100 seconds isn't bad, but it's just a British quick burning smoke. And the engine boost, 8%. It's a standard engine boost. This might just be me smoking crack, but I don't really see anything that's drawing me to this ship and making me interested in it. It really just kind of looks like it is a battle class destroyer, which is by far one of my favorite destroyers at tier 9. Love the battle. That is just neutered in every way, shape, or form. And I'd really like to believe that that's not the case, but right now it's kind of looking that way. I'm sorry. It's kind of looking that way. I keep forgetting you're over there.
I'm actually below
you over
right
there
now.
For me. Oh, it's terrible.
I agree.
But funny name, Bart Flower. Bart Flower. I don't know.
His new nickname.
So, American destroyer, Laffey, tier 10.
Much cooler ship.
Yes. Alan M. Sumner class, commissioned in 1944. It served in Normandy landings in the Battle of Okinawa. Laffey suffered major damage from 6 kamikaze strikes and 4 bomb hits. And she continued in active U.S. naval service until 1975 to be the last of her class that was retired. That's awesome. I love ships like this, and I love the historical homage that they pay to ships like that. I really enjoy that. I keep forgetting them. So.
I do too.
Again, you're over there for me, so it's just where I look. Main battery focused destroyer. 127s do not have the best ballistics. Her toolkit will allow her to stay in the fight. So I got a feeling this is just going to be a just crackhead build kind of destroyer, which I'm always a very big fan of.
They've given me a big stick to bully other destroyers with, and I'm going to use it.
Yeah, her smoke capacity is not high, low speed, and small hit points for tier 10. And trade-offs, torpedoes, shorter range. Okay, so it's 3 127s on a 2.8 second reload. Okay, so that's good. Burst, so it gets burst. Okay. Torpedoes, 1800 damage torpedoes. Reloads in 140 seconds. Okay. See what else here. Damage control, standard damage control, specialized repair team. So this is just the it's very strong. It's the zombie heal. Smoke is just what total usage time 60 seconds. Minimum usage time 10 seconds. It has
the new smoke mechanic where you have the whole
the
whole.
It's kind of like a pick your piece.
Yeah,
you can
use all of it or a very little bit of it.
Okay, and defensive. Okay. And then okay.
Secondary Kremlin.
Oh, Sovietsky Soyuz with 457s and secondaries. Major downside is that of her deck plating thickness. What do you mean by that? How? Dude, don't tell me they put a Soyuz with secondaries in the game, but it is 32 mil plating. Do not tell me that. Do not tell me that they just did that. Oh, okay. 33-second reload, that's rough. It has a combat instructions.
It is a Kremlin, it's not a Soyuz.
Really?
They hit you with that parentheses for the development
Project
of the
24.
Soyuz. Yes, parentheses Project 24.
Oh, okay. That's kind of okay, I guess. Like, I don't know. Secondaries, 8 of the dual 130s. No, I don't think it's Kremlin.
Does the Kremlin not have the Smolensk guns as the secondaries?
There's the quads. This has duals. This is a Soyuz, buddy.
Why do they compare it to Kremlin?
Because it's
the contemporary
battleship for the tier.
What? Hold up one second.
3-second reload, 7.7 range. So kind of bad range and okay reload, but they're 130s, and you have, I'm going to assume 4 of them per side, so 8. Yep, that's a secondary battleship right there. That's definitely not.
Okay, I'm just saying, I put Project 24 battleship into Google. This looks a lot like a Kremlin.
Well, I mean, we'll do this. Hold on.
Is he pulling out his Google now?
No, I'm not pulling out Google. I'm just going to go to the Kremlin and see how many secondary mounts it has.
Okay.
It has... Wait a minute. Am I the bad guy? Dude, I am! It does have dual. It's a Kremlin. I'm sorry. What am I thinking about that has Smolensk
Something does have Smolensk secondaries. The carrier does.
Yeah,
the friggin' comrade. I need an ocean tug to go anywhere. Not that one exactly, but
I
knock him off.
I bend my hat to you. I tip my hat. Okay, so never mind. It's a secondary Kremlin. It's gonna die with reduced plating, and
we're gonna make a Kremlin
again. You're getting one of those use it or lose it.
Yeah.
You know, pull off a strip of taffy repair parties, which
they got him.
I don't know, man. Have fun. And then I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that this is going to be... What?
Oh, yeah. This is a real... Are you ready for Hildebrand 2, but French? I hope you are. It's So I was told to say this like fatigue, but
You need a drink.
Lartigue. Yeah, it's a Hildebrand that's French with French quad
A
guns.
hypothetical French
Mm.
conversion of a captured Germanized hybridized O-class battlecruiser.
We're getting the fan fiction, the likes we've never seen here, boys.
Dude, it's fan fiction of a fan
I
fiction.
know, that's what I'm saying. This is fanception at this point.
Oh my god. All right. So it's
We're
the
game will do
Hildebrand with French
anything,
guns.
anything but give the Germans a tier 10 tech line ship, premium
She has
cruiser.
improved plating on her hangar deck, allowing her some resistance to long range fire that would otherwise yield significant damage. So that probably what's Hildebrand's deck? Do you have a Hildebrand? I don't.
I do have a Hildebrand, but I can't pull my World Warships because I'm recording.
Oh yeah. All right. No hydro. Single aircraft squadron of skip bombers split into 2 strikes. They are fast aircraft bombs that have decent potential alpha, allowing them to make sure.
Unholy.
Oh, this is just gonna be. What is 2 330s? Okay, so those are not
Oh, they're not
the.
quads. I thought they were quads. Okay. So that's the.
No, no. Is that a Marseille? Yeah, those are the
Yeah.
Marseille turrets. So it is 2 Marseille turrets. Um, it's the reload 22. So reload's not horrible, but again, you have 2 Marseille turrets.
Yeah. They improve if they even if they improve the deck armor, you're going to still get farmed out with the hangar, like incredibly so.
Yeah. I don't know who was like. I don't know who decided France needed a Hildebrand, but
To
they
make
got
up
their
for them
wish.
never making the French carrier line.
They got anything but carriers. Um, I'm just, and it has engine boost because it's French. It has to have engine. The Hildebrand with engine boost. 1%.
How much is it? 20%.
20%. 20% speed boost.
How did they not?
How long is it? Fucking
180.
180 seconds at 20. What's the speed? We're 30. Hold on.
34. Of course, it can go 40 knots. Are you
Hold on,
doing
I'm pulling
math?
out the calculator. Oh yeah.
He is doing math. I was surprised that they didn't give the Beern engine boost, to be honest.
So that's a 6.8, 20%.
Yeah, so,
So
41 knots. Throw brisk on there. Throw the flag on there, and you're pushing warp speed.
on a Hildebrand. Okay. So,
Right at you.
anyways, oh my gosh. Oh, what? Oh, are these just tests?
They were announced earlier, but we never got to see their models, so that's what they look like. The Colonna, the Zarya S, and the I-5644. They were the previous new ships that were announced.
I don't like this. I don't like this one. I don't like
It looks like
this.
they took like the light cruiser turrets and went, into paint and just them out. You know what I'm talking
Where's
about?
the yeah, I'm trying to remember. I blocked it out of my mind, but I'm going back there now. The tier 7 Caracuclio. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's exactly what it
Caracuclio.
looks
It's a
like.
Caracuclio.
Yeah.
This thing pushed me to the edge of sanity. This thing is so bad. I don't like it. I haven't seen the stats for this thing,
Now you get
but
it at
because
tier 8.
it shares the same flesh, I don't want it even more. This is just whatever that like tier 6 Russian premium battleship is, or tier 7, whatever it is.
Poltava?
Yeah, this just looks like a Poltava. Um,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
it is. It's just a modernized Poltava. And then this is an affront to humanity because it is a submarine.
I think if you want to
That took a lot out
speedrun
of me.
this dev blog, there's only really one thing here that's really worth talking about besides asymmetrics coming back.
And ASIM and experimental ships. So ASIM is great. Go play ASIM. The rules
Same as before.
same as before. ASIM's still fun. So these are just the
the ships we went over.
okay.
They're coming out in 14.5. Protector.
That's the Protector. That's the Hotake, and that is the Versace. And then here they are. Oh
yeah, that is true.
Oh no. Oh no! Oh, there's. All right. So, anyways, Clan Battle Season 30, Man of War. Love the name. Been playing Naval Action lately.
Really?
Yeah. Don't play it. It's really bad.
I tried it once. It was not good.
It's so fun. It's such a fun game. The problem is they turned it into a just naval, a naval action game. And they turned it into Warehouse Manager 365. So like now I have to load cannonballs and powder to go hunt people instead of just getting that, which I think is stupid. I should not have to build a drop shipping empire to get my cannonballs to go fight other boats in the boat game. I hate that, but it's still a fun game. Let me know if you want to come play. And that's up to listeners as well. It's a very, very good game. Based out of Lanavas, play French on the PvE server. I don't play PvP. People just gank on PvP, and I'm not about it. I have a friend who plays PvP, and every so often he'll just like DM me. He's like, "Yeah, I just lost like 90 hours worth of progress because somebody just ran me down in a first rate in my brig," and I'm just like, "Don't play PvE. Don't play PvP. This sucks. I want to make seaman jokes, and I want to shoot cannonballs at my friends. That's all. I don't want to have to worry about Sweat Lord Omegatron running me down like a rabid dog and executing me. I don't like that." Anyways, Man of War will feature a fresh tactical twist. Classified documents will be activated. And this feature might return in one of the future seasons.
I don't like that phrase.
I don't like that. So, classified documents can be chosen against specific ships on the opposing team during the pre-battle countdown. The default amount of classified documents of a ship can be up to 2. However, depending on the ship's strength in clan battles environment, it may be limited to 1 or 0. I hate that so much. I understand incentivizing a diversity, a diverse pool of ships to play, but why are we rewarding somebody taking a dog ship into comp? Why are we doing that? Why are we incentivizing horrendous ships? If Wargame came out and they're like, okay, Petro and all that, they don't get any, but take a DM, which is a little bit more situational, requires a little bit more skill, that's fine. That I understand. This to me just screams I'm gonna run into somebody playing like 9 Hindenburg Flying V and they get all the boosts out the wazoo because they're playing Make-A-Wish Kid ships. I don't like that.
I don't know. The strong reaction from them trying to throw us into randoms. I would think they would just shelf this idea for forever, but I guess not.
Each document grants a buff tailored against a specific ship. So, for example, a classified document against Conquer will increase your damage from all armaments by 10% when fired at Conquer and reduce the damage of catching fire from guns by 40%.
Holy crap.
Oh my goodness.
Dang.
Yeah, so you're incentivizing people play like 9 Hindenburgs and just gimp the other team.
That's not even like a small nerf and buff.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
40%.
Holy crap.
Classified document against Austin will increase your damage from all armaments by 10% against Austin. That's awesome. Damage to a citadel and
at 20%.
Oh. Only battleships, destroyers, and cruisers are allowed. No more than one battleship and team. Louisiana Commissar and Hildebrand cannot be taken into.
This is going to be a fun season.
GQ Johnny. There it is.
This would have been a beautiful skin. I hate this so much.
What?
Skin? No. Why isn't this a skin? Why isn't this a camo that we can just buy for the Johnston?
Because you have to grind it out now.
No. You have to buy this is a whole new tier 9 premium ship that you have to buy to grind out the event to get Evans.
Yeah. Fuck you, that's why.
I know. This is a... Why was this not all out when Johnston was released? You know, the skin... the Johnston, this in a camo form, and Evans. This all should have been out. This event should have been out when the Johnston came out. But no.
I know. No. Here it is.
Angry, and I'm still going to get it because I want Evans, but...
Now this is something I like! Pin-up summer permanent camouflage. Yeah!
Not Sydney Sweeney.
It's not Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney camo, I just... My entire wallet to Wargaming.
Dude, they added her to Fortnite.
Sydney Sweeney?
I think so. That or Sabrina Carpenter, one of those.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Oh, they added Sabrina Carpenter.
I work with children. I know what's in Fortnite's latest updates. Unfortunately.
You might want to add as a teacher, because saying I work with children.
As a teacher.
There you go. Don't want to cause any problems. Triple detonation, new. That looks cool. Fire, explosion,
big boom,
smoke.
I really like the
and
second
then
one.
We have this Tom and Jerry bullshit.
No, this is amazing. What are you talking about? This is wonderful.
This is Tom and Jerry bullshit. I like it, but it's Tom and Jerry bullshit. Like I'm expecting a giant lump to grow out the top of the ship, or the hand of God to come down and hit it with a mallet. I like it, but it's Tom and Jerry.
And then they updated a bunch of containers. I think that's it for that. Yeah, that's it for that.
All right.
You can go read that yourselves.
Containers, it's just... that's about it.
There's a long night of reading, gentlemen. So,
dude,
go from having no DevBlogs in a month to having 3 DevBlogs in a day.
I want you to know how, like... I want you to know how over the moon I was about going over those ships, and it's just like...
It's midnight. Have fun.
No, it's not even that. It's, dude, Man of War. I don't want these things.
Yeah.
I don't want these things in clan battles in any way, shape, or form.
It just seems weird that, like, this is the mode that's all about skill, right? So we're going to give you the thing that removes skill.
Hey, we're going to reward you if you pick a lobotomite ship and you run it. And it's not an insignificant award. Do these stack? Do these not stack?
If I remember, they do stack. I think.
So you can just neuter like a conqueror.
Yeah. Well, no. So they're for the individual ships. Yeah, they're for the individual ships, so they don't stack. But I mean, if everyone takes the I hate conqueror, thing, and then
hold on, I'm going. This is stopping me from booting Tarkov.
I think because you used to be able to do the team. I think they had like a team version of this or something that did stack, but this is like for the individuals. Like everyone on the team, they pick one, right? So if you all take the Conqueror one, then the Conqueror, you just can't set fires in the match.
Okay, I thought these were like like team wide.
Thank God. Although you might have just given them that idea now, but
Don't do that. All right. Well, on that bombshell, it's time to cry. Make the vaunted 11 p.m. pizza
yes.
and play Tarkov, I think.
Oh boy. It's gonna be a fun clan battle season.
I like it's frustrating. I understand you need to incentivize people to play in clan battles, but like I think there's better ways to
Get them to pick off the wall ships than
yeah.
just neutering everybody else.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think rewarding people for playing because how are they going to determine what gets you one card, what gets you two cards? Notice how
I
that's
guess
open.
popularity or
There's only going to be one Petro on the team, so does that get a card?
Might get two cards at that point if there's only one.
No, it's not going to. It's Petro. It's going to get no cards.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just
I don't know. It's just wild that they saw how everyone hated the idea of this in randoms. I said, okay, let's put it in clan battles now. I don't know. I didn't get to play that much of this season of clan battles, and this is making me not want to play that much of the next season of clan battles.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just drained and frowning. Like
I can tell. The decisions they make are truly fascinating at times.
dude, it's like at the end of every season, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna unrest and I'm gonna start playing. And then it's like, here's the wacky Acme bullshit that we're now putting into clan battles. And it's like,
yeah,
maybe next season.
It's like maybe clan battles is not the place to test this because I guess they really want to bring it to randoms because it got rejected so hard. They're like, okay, let's try this in clan battles with a smaller format, maybe. But it's like, no, people just don't like this in the PvP part of the game. Like,
yeah, I don't want to win because
you took
I
the
don't
right
want to lose
cards.
because
Or the other guy took the right
I don't want to
cards.
lose because some mouth breather on the other team took a Hindenburg and now I just can't damage them.
Yeah,
And like that's a horrible way to equalize play and incentivize diversity. I think, a changing of maps, changing of modes, both in size, in layout, maybe putting some different modes into clan battles would be a good idea. I think that granted, I think, modes like Epicenter, I don't think is a very good idea to put into clan battles, but like, if you made it more of a toss up as to what situation you're getting yourself into, I think that it would incentivize people to maybe play different ships and change up their play style. But
throwing like standard battle in the mix would throw a huge curveball into
but
the
no,
the mix.
we get
Domination.
fucking we get fucking juju cards. Like
Pick a card. Any card.
yeah, pick a card. You don't take any damage from a conqueror. See?
Hindenburg, you get 3 cards.
Yeah, Hindenburg.
Oh. I guess we'll see what happens
All
with
right.
that, but yeah.
I already know what's gonna happen, but I can, use my game sense and look at this and be like,
Game senses are tangling.
my gamer senses are telling me this is not going to be a good game. Not a gamer move, but we will also wait and see because who knows? Maybe this is the one time I'm wrong, other than earlier with the battleship.
Well, I guess
And
I was going to hit the stop recording button unless you have something else to say.
no, that's it.
You have something else to say, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
Have a nice night.
Subscribe.